Okay, so I've already mixed up my resin, and tonight I'm using platinum 2:1. It's a deep pour, and I'm going to be putting in my diamond dust. So to start, I'm just going to spritz my mould with my isopropyl alcohol, and I want to get some shells right down there in the point. So I'm just going to pop some of my resin into another cup. I'm just going to pour a little bit in the bottom there. Hopefully you can see that, because I just want to get some shells down into that little point. And I sort of want them facing pointy end down, so I want to get a few in there. And because this is a deep pour, like once we pour the resin in there, it should settle into all the little gaps. As long as you don't put too many shells in doing it this way. The other way you can do it, you can just pop all your shells into your resin, mix it up, pour it in. But at the moment, I just want to make sure I get some right in there, that little pointy bit. And then for the sides, because they go down a fair way, I think I'm just going to pop my shells into the resin with the diamond dust, mix it all up, put some in, and then just push it down. When you're using bigger shells, like in this one, I sort of did it that method where I put a little bit of resin, put the shells down, a little bit more resin than the shells, because I wanted them to face a certain way. And if you mix them all up in your cup of resin, you can't get them to sit the way you want them. And with these they're like a snail shell, but they're a sea snail. I wanted the swirly bit pointing to the outside, not the bit like this one has actually turned around, and see how it's got the hole there. So in order to get them sort of more laid out in the correct order, you do it that way. So that's why I've popped the little shells in first with my resin. But for the rest of it, I think I'm just going to mix them all up in the resin, as I said before, with my diamond dust, and then I'll just sort of poke them with the stick. I'm going to spray because I can see bubbles, and I want to get down into those little sort of skinny points of the mould. So with these gorgeous shells, you can actually sort them out into colours, and you can pop them into the moulds like that. But tonight I just want a mixed colour. I haven't really sorted them out. There is some sort of random shells like that one. That's a different shell, but that's right. Yeah, so we'll just sort of have a bit of a medley, I think, in this one. I think that'll look pretty. So I'm just popping my shells in. Give that a bit of a stir. little bit of the diamond dust in. Now again, with your diamond dust, you don't want to use too much because it'll just overpower. So I'm just taking the littlest bit. I'm just checking for sparkle, and I can just slightly see it on my stick when the shells fall off. So I think that should be enough. Okay, pop some more in there. Put them down. I'm going to try and put in as many shells as I can, because I sort of don't want that sort of clear see-through look that you can get if you don't have enough shells in your project. I really want to showcase these shells. Because I'm not sure if you can get these sort of shells overseas, but here in Australia, here where I live, as I said, they're only on certain beaches. But I remember growing up, we used to love collecting them because generally they've got like a little hole in them, and so you can put them on your earrings. And yeah, we used to love doing that when we were younger. Pop them on our earrings, wear them to school, or on your necklace. So yeah, they're quite popular, and they look absolutely gorgeous in resin with all their different colours. Oops. Let's just poke them all down. And just, yeah, we're going to let them just fall however they fall and lie in the mould. So hopefully Nat will try this and she'll post on her channel, because I've seen that she's got a channel, and show us her creations, because I'd love to see them. And I'd love to see yours too. And wherever you come from and what sort of shells you have. Because I know when I travelled Australia with my parents when I was younger, there's a lot of shells that you get in different states that we don't get here as well, so that'd be interesting to see. What sort of shells do you have where you live? So you don't want to poke them and push them too hard and make your mould sort of disfigured, because that can happen too, especially with these cheaper moulds that you buy off Temu and eBay. Sometimes they're a little bit flimsy, so you've got to be careful. Unlike the better quality moulds, the handmade moulds. They sort of don't tend to push out of shape like these ones. Got some random bits of shell in my cup. I'll just get them out. One piece there, we don't want that in there. A little bit more resin. More shells. I've found a random piece of crab shell that I don't want in there, so let's pick that out. If you don't live near a beach, you can buy packets of shells online. Sometimes they can be expensive, but if you shop around fair prices, you might be able to get something reasonable. If you can't get any shells, send me an email and I may sell you some. Because I've got heaps here. It's going to last me for ages. Thanks to my gorgeous hairdresser, Tracey. So just pop a little bit more diamond dust in this mix. So I said you only need the littlest bit. It just goes such a long way. It lasts forever. No, not forever, but it lasts a very long time. So you can do this with other resin, like your 1-to-1. I like doing the deep pour, even though you really don't need to do a deep pour in this mold, but it just tends to release the bubbles more, and especially if I've got a debubbling machine. Is that what you call them? But I hardly use it because most of the time I'm putting things in my resin. So, and if you use a deep pour, you don't get as many bubbles, I find, because the bubbles have more time to degas while it's setting up, because it takes longer to set up. So when you're doing something like this, you do tend to get less bubbles if you were to use a 1-to-1. So sometimes it just calls for a little bit of patience. But there is awesome resin out there that sets up really quick, which you still can do it with. But you're more prone to use, you know, a debubbling machine, and some people just can't afford that. So we all know the prices of things have just increased lately. It's just ridiculous. So, and resin is expensive. So a lot of us are on tight budgets. So I'm trying to show you methods to use where you don't have to have all the fancy equipment and every different type of resin. Well, that's looking pretty full to me. So I'm going to leave it at that. Give that another spray. I'll probably babysit it, come and check it again in another hour. It probably will need another spray. And then, yeah, just let it cure. And then I'll be back to demold it. So I'll see you soon. So it's demolding day, and I've already given them a little spray and a loosen. That's pretty. What do you think, guys? That turned out so nice, and hopefully you can see the sparkle in it. And it's nicely packed full of shells. Doesn't appear to have any bubbles, which is awesome. And just enough of the diamond dust so it's not too overpowering. Hopefully you can see that. It's turned out so nice. Yay! So happy with that. What do you think, everyone? Please leave your comments below, and I'd love for you to have a try and share yours when you're finished. Alright, thanks so much for watching, and see you for the next one. Bye.